only one that was open. She's not happy. She's supposed to be in a bigger place. Nothing I can do about it, because it's going to be my full-time home. I had to choose one that had a lot of storage.
We'll call the Newport City Council meeting to order for Monday, March 18th, 2019, 6:30 p.m. Council room. All members of the council are present. I would like to welcome new member Melissa Patterson to the City Council, and welcome back, Mr. Ross. Others present includes James Johnson, our clerk treasurer, and Laura Dogan, our city manager. The next item will be to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2019. I would entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second to approve the minutes of March 4th?
I'll second.
Made and seconded, discussion on the minutes. Hearing none, those in favor say aye. Opposed, abstentions? The ayes have it, motion carries. The next will be to approve the minutes of the annual meeting of March 5th. And I'm going to entertain a motion for that.
To approve the minutes of the annual meeting of March 5th.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
A second.
Made and seconded, discussion on that. And hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next item is comments by members of the public. We have James Lafede to discuss through traffic, Mount Vernon Street.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. James Lacey. I live at 106 Mount Vernon Street, and I'd like a response, or at least a beginning of a conversation on through traffic going through Mount Vernon, especially coming up with the 6 weeks of construction that will be altering the drive up to the interstate. I know that there will be a lot more traffic that will be coming up through Mount Vernon Street. The road is very narrow. I'm not here to complain about police presence for patrolling that street. However, there is a lot of traffic that goes through there that is above and beyond the required speed limit through there. There's a lot of families that have moved in there with children under 5, mine included. I have two little boys. There are no sidewalks on that street. We'd love to come pedestrian traffic into the city, enjoy the business here in Newport City. So my proposition is that we could at least put in some kind of series of temporary speed bumps to at least slow the traffic or make traffic more aware of the neighborhood, at least till fall. That way they can come up before winter time and take care of the streets in such a fashion.
So you were looking for speed bumps during the construction, that 6-week period?
That would be favorable. However, I would actually request that there would be some kind of series of temporary speed bumps throughout spring, summer, and fall.
If you want to make a note of that, we'll probably discuss with the chief. The chief, have them discuss it and start the discussion about it.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
And I know, excuse me, and I know the state will be working on signage and other things during that whole period, correct?
Yeah,
They've got a whole in-depth plan, I think, if I understood them right, regarding that street and all the streets around it during the 6-week closure of the access road.
And it's a very narrow road, sir, as well. And especially when you get up the first hill, part of the hill, there's a very steep turn there, and it's even narrower there. And I know that you have traffic going up to the golf course. You know, you have business up there. I understand. Actually, we still see some trucks going up our hill as well. So I don't know what the zoning permits are on the size of that street because of the width, and on top of not having any sidewalk. It'd just be, that's my idea of being able to slow the traffic down.
Right.
And I appreciate it.
Very good.
That kind of response.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in. Next, we have Ann Chirillo, Partnerships.
Yeah, I knew you'd miss it if I didn't talk, so I wanted to talk a little bit about partnerships tonight. As we have a new member, and I wanted to mention that partnerships is sort of like the new buzzword of how things work. And an expectation exists that if you can form a partnership with someone, that it's gonna work and it's gonna be better. And I would say partnerships work best when the parties are equal in power. And that partnerships don't work as well, and we've experienced that once before, at least in my time here. Partnerships don't work very well when one of the parties is a multi-billion-dollar company and you're partnering with them. And that's the situation that's happening, I believe, between the city a bit and Casella. And that I think the city hopes somehow that Casella will help them with the new things that need to be done with the waste management plant, and that's an advantageous thing to happen for the city. But I want you to remember in that partnership as well that Casella may have some things that it wants the city to do. Namely, that when the first person comes along who's suffered from kidney cancer or any of the other illnesses that you might well get from PFOAs, that the city will be among the parties sued for letting those things through the waste management system into the lake. Certainly a party would like the other party to have to pay up. And a party would like the other party to be blamed for what could happen or what has happened. So I ask you to be very careful in partnerships. We've had a partnership really a while ago with Quiros and Stanger and the EB5 from the state, and they wound up not too bad off, and we wound up with a hole. I just don't want it to be this time that the corporation winds up with the mine and we wind up with the shaft. So please be careful and beware of partnerships.
Thank you. Moving on, the next item is the election of the city council president. We would need a motion.
I would move to nominate Julie Raboyne as council president.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
Second that.
Motion's been made and seconded, discussion? Or any other nominees? Then, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
New name tags by the next meeting.
But having you temporary was advantageous.
You have to pay for her own name tag.
Yeah, we'll get it emblazoned in gold.
Now we move into all the city government appointments. The first one is city manager, and it's currently held by Laura Dogan. And we need a motion.
I make a motion that we reappoint her as city manager.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Made and seconded, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The next is Director of Public Works, currently held by Tom Bernier. We need a motion.
I would have Tom Bernier be the Director of Public Works.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is it made and seconded? Discussion? And none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the appointment of the Chief of Police, currently held by Seth DeSanto. And then we need a motion.
I make a motion that we appoint Seth again.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Made and seconded, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the Chief of the Fire Department, that's held by Jamie Leclerc. James Leclerc Senior, I always call him Jamie, but James Leclerc Senior.
I will nominate Chief. Senior.
Senior. Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Made, seconded, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the appointment of the Director of Recreation and Parks, as held by Jessica Booth.
Move to appoint Jessica Booth as Director of Recreation and Parks.
A motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the zoning administrator, and that's held by Charlie Elliott. And I would need a motion for that.
I'll nominate Mr. Elliott.
Motion's made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the tax successor. That's held by Spencer Potter. It's a contracted 1 day a week position.
I'll nominate Spencer.
Motion's made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Made and seconded, discussion on that? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the city attorney, and is currently Stitchell, Page, and Fletcher. And I would need a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded? Discussion on the motion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the Cemetery Commission, and it's currently Frank Ormsby, John Ward Sr., and Dennis Chanette. I see Mr. Chanette's here. Would you like to still be on the Cemetery Commission?
Actually, all three members are still willing to sit on the commission for another year.
Okay. So I would need a motion to appoint Frank Ormsby, John Ward Sr., and Dennis Chanette.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion? And hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Okay. We would need a motion for the Recreation Committee. The existing members are Jen Smith, Nicole Grattan, Sherry Lee Ryan, Jamie Comtois, Mike Nolan, Debbie Smith, and Kevin Thurston. But we only have to appoint one member, right? And that is going to be Vaughn Cloney, whose term would expire in 2021. That is the recommendation.
I'll nominate Ron.
Motion's made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Get my other memo here. Okay, we need, right now, we only have one person who's up on the planning commission, and that is Ruth Sproul. And the memo we received is that she is willing to serve again. And so we would need a motion to approve Ruth Sproul to the planning commission.
I'll move to nominate Ruth Sproul to the planning commission.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. And then we would also need a motion to reappoint Ruth Sproul to the Historic Preservation Committee. As a planning commission and Historic Preservation Committee are one.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next appointment is our harbor master, and the name is Eric, how do you pronounce that last name? Vogelin? Is it Vogelin? Vogelin. Okay. As our harbor master for the upcoming year. His term would expire in 2020. And so we need a motion for that.
make that motion.
A motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion? Then all those in favor say aye. Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Then we have openings on the Harbor Commission, and it's been recommended by the existing Harbor Commission members to appoint the following people for a 2-year term: Steve Edgerly, Tom Lotta, John Manette, Cynthia Skelton. And their term would expire in 2021. And I believe they advertised that in the newspaper for the openings, and they had 7 applications, and they narrowed it down to this recommendation. So I would entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
A motion's been made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Back to this memo. Okay. We have, next is the Development Review Board. We have 1 appointment, and the recommendation is to appoint Dan Pickering, the full-time member of the DRB, to fill in for Harriet Hall, and Harriet Hall would then become an alternate. And she has frequent conflicts, and this was the recommendation from the DRB. So to appoint Dan Pickering, a full-time member, and then Harriet Hall, an alternate.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. We don't need that, we don't need that. Back to this one. The next special offices and appointments. The first is the delinquent tax collector, and it's currently held by the city manager. We would need a motion for that.
So moved if she's willing.
Yes.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the town service officer, and it's held by James LeClaire Sr. And we would need a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded. Discussion?
What is a town service officer?
Let's see, that's health officer there.
It's the point where it's somebody who is familiar with the social service agencies. So if you had somebody coming in, the community who needed assistance, you technically refer them to the service officer, right?
Sure. It's a state, it's actually a state requirement.
Absolutely.
You like that,
Between
right?
health officer and service officer.
I got you
They're
back.
different positions, but state.
They don't have to bring coffee to the city council?
They don't have to what?
Bring coffee?
Well, I like that.
All right, so we would need a motion if you so choose.
I make that motion.
The motion's been made to appoint James LeClaire Sr. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. The next is the animal control officer, which actually it is the Newport Police Department currently. And so we would need a motion, unless the chief wants to do it himself.
Make a recommendation to the health officer, besides that, the police department can continue.
The police department can continue, okay. So we would need a motion to have the police department continue to be the animal control officer.
Move that we have the police department be the animal control officer people.
Officer people, motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the health officer, and that is currently held by James LeClaire Sr. And I have the paperwork from the state. It's something that we have to appoint. And so we would need a motion for that.
I will make that motion.
A motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion?
Yes. I don't know if you've looked at the state regulations and requirements to be a health officer, but they're very in-depth. And it involves his ability to work with the police department if he needs to get into a place. So it's more than just saying,
Right.
you're the health officer.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, there's a liability on the city, and,
well, the state, yeah, they require, he has to be sworn in, and he has to have, you have to provide his educational degree and all this other stuff.
There's actually a manual, Mr. Mayor.
What? Yes.
That's a manual for the health officer.
And if we don't have a health officer, I believe per statute it falls upon either the president of the council, I believe it falls on, technically the chair of the president of the council.
Yes, it does.
Now you're telling me.
Is that a position you still want, James?
I've been doing it this long.
And he has done a good job. So we would need a motion for that.
So
I
moved.
think we already did.
Oh, did you have a motion?
second, and then we had the discussion.
Oh, okay, that's right, I'm sorry.
okay.
I was looking at this to see where I have to sign after. All right, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Laura, I'm gonna let you type all this up. Maybe I can come in tomorrow and sign it, and just do that.
Any way you'd like.
Do it that way. I'll give it back to her until. Because we'll have to administer the oath and all that. Okay. The next item is tree warden, and that's currently held by Robert Gosselin.
That's fine.
I'll renominate Robert.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, discussion on the tree warden, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the wear of coal.
I'll renominate Colleen Morty Ortiz.
It's a tough job.
She's really enjoyed it.
She's really enjoyed it, okay.
I understand there was a piece of coal found in her Christmas stocking last year, and I think that makes her eminently qualified.
So we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Next is the inspector of wooden shingles, and it's currently held by Jacques Robert.
He's interested in continuing.
Okay. Do we have a motion to reappoint Jacques Robert, the inspector of wood and shingles?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Next, we need representatives to the NVDA board. Currently, it's myself and the city manager.
Are both of you still wanting to maintain that position? I'll nominate the both of you.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
The second.
Seconded, discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next is the representative to the NVEDD board, which is the Northern Vermont Economic Development District. And that is currently myself. That's something I'm still willing to be in.
I'll make a motion that we appoint for that.
The motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Next, we need appointments for the fence viewer. Currently, it's Dennis Schnett, Donald Hendrick, and Jennifer Bernier.
So I've talked to Robert Gosselin and I've talked to Jacques Robert, and I've mentioned it to Dennis, and I think all of those three people are interested in assuming those roles. Am I speaking correctly, Dennis and Robert?
So a motion's been made, oh no, there's no motion, we need a motion.
So it's Dennis, Robert Gosselin, and Jacques Robert.
So, move. Make the motion.
A motion's been made, is there a second?
Oh, is there a second?
No, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded? Discussion?
Were the other people that were on the commission, including Jen Bernier, approached about whether they wanted to continue?
Has anybody approached them?
I didn't approach anyone. I just,
But I did ask Robert and I asked Jeff. So you've got some people who are willing to serve.
I don't think fence viewer gets used. It's only very rarely, if that, right? From my understanding, the fence viewer is only if there's a dispute. But generally, property line disputes go to the zoning.
They don't do anything.
It's one of those positions that,
Davis, a lawyer, Wetlands and River Line, said he actually had a case go to the Supreme Court. On fence viewer. So he said that it can turn into something,
it can, right?
but 99.9% of the time.
It's through the zoning. Usually it's all worked out in zoning. But we did have a motion and a second on that. Any other discussion? Then all those in favor say aye. Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. The next is the building safety officer, and that's currently held by our zoning administrator, Charlie Elliott. You wish to
So-
continue? Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Second, you want to continue that, Charlie, since it ties into zoning? So a motion's been made and seconded, discussion on that. Then all those in favor say aye. Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. And then we have one new one, which is the city landscaper. Because the appointment was only good until the town meeting, so we're gonna go for like a few weeks, and so now we need to do it for the upcoming year. So we need the city landscaper, and it's currently Robert Gosling.
I'm happy to nominate Robert for an ongoing position as city landscaper.
A motion's been made, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded, discussion on that? And hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. And I believe that's it for the nominations. I didn't miss anyone, correct? From what,
Hit 'em all.
I hit them all? Okay. Moving on. Start off, new business, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I've got 10 or 11 liquor licenses here that will need to be signed. Chief has looked at them all. They're all renewals. Should be on the back.
What?
Pick a spot, sign anywhere, pass them. We can sign that way.
Any other new business? Any new business? You have no new business? Any new business?
Nope.
I don't have any new business. Any new business? Mr. Ross, any new business?
No.
No?
No.
No? Any new business?
Thank you.
Okay. we'll Wait for these. That's another duty of the council, we serve as the liquor control
No,
board.
they made it.
It still exists.
Oh, there's one blind.
forgot, Rite Aid became Walgreens.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question about these? Do we have any guarantee that these liquor distributors are training all of their staff appropriately? 'Cause I know that it's a mandate that they're supposed to go
They
through.
have to do it every 2 years, and the state keeps track of that.
The state
If they
does.
don't,
Yeah.
they notify them, they know immediately.
Thank you.
There's 2 here.
Oh, I think I'm the same one.
Those two. This one, that's, Vista.
Oh,
They still go by AG Supermarkets, but it's Vista.
need a ticket?
Yeah.
May I ask
They're
another
gonna-
question?
They're gonna check it, that's why they put it
Who's Noonan? Is that the country club?
It's a
Oh, that's the
country
country club, okay.
I've heard other towns requiring a violation, the business owner to come before the city council or select board and explain what happened, and then the council can make a wise decision whether or not to agree to renew their license. Would anybody be interested in enacting that kind of a policy?
That's a speeding ticket.
That's a speeding ticket? It's not a violation of,
in. No, it's not a violation.
1081 B.
why is it in here?
They just put it in there because they know the state's gonna check it out.
Okay.
Besides, police department, the chief investigates all this. New.
Yes.
If there's anything wrong, you'll investigate them again, I'm sure.
It would just be nice if we knew if anybody violated and was caught.
That's something you follow, correct, Seth?
No, it's the Department of Liquor Control.
They follow it, but they would notify us, correct, as a liquor board?
I don't know.
Would they notify us?
They send me a notice where they have to go to this remedial or pay a fine and all that stuff. I get it quite often.
Yeah.
Or they serve somebody underage or something like that.
Because years ago, the council had to hold hearings on an establishment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they were gonna pull the license. It was, I can't remember what it was. How About Bob's, was that the name of it? It was over here,
Yeah.
before your time. Was that the one? And the board here had to act as a liquor control. And before they made their formal decision, they withdrew their application and closed down. And they were having issues, and they came before the board.
And liquor control come around with undercover agents and all that, so they get sued.
Because I sat in the audience, because I was part of the original tie, so I didn't want to recuse myself, and sat in the audience to witness it. No, I'm not part of any of those, which is nice. Not enough time.
If you got a liquor license, unless you don't sell liquor, and you use just a tobacco. Used to be two separate things. It's really hard. There'll be another bunch there.
You know, about, they all come due around this time. Okay. And did the council, I sent a copy just so that you had it, I forgot to bring one for here, the letter of support that I wrote on behalf of the Thai restaurant.
Yes. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I had to get in contact with the consulate in Thailand. Whether I had to mail a copy of the letter to Thailand or email was okay. They basically said, they basically told me I had to provide it to the individual who was coming to, trying to get a visa to come to work at the restaurant. And so I emailed it, thank goodness. Okay. Okay, moving on. Old business, Mr. Johnson?
No.
Old business? No. Anything? Well, it's new old. Each year the council, of course, buys a ticket for the Newport City raffle. And part of it is one member of the council can go with their significant other to the banquet that night, if anyone so chooses. Anybody want to go?
Do you want to go, Julie?
I missed the date. When is it?
April 6th,
What, is that a
Saturday.
first Saturday.
I would be happy to have anybody else go.
I have my own ticket. And so, if you want to go.
Is this my welcome gift?
Yes. We'll have a meal. So you have
I would love to go.
Okay.
And what happens if we win?
Then money gets turned over to some good cause.
Well,
Find out what we're gonna get at.
Yeah, one year we won a table, which I think is out in your office, out in the open area.
Sure we got dog food.
1 year we got dog food. We gave it to the chiefs, the police. 1 year we got a mirror, and I don't know who ended up with that, because you can't break it 5 ways. 1 year we actually did get cash. We got our money back for the ticket, basically.
And a bracelet. Remember you got a bracelet?
We got a bracelet 1 year.
So what do I do for Heather for Julie doing this? So I just, we say yes.
Oh, yeah, and I guess you would be attending. But, all right. That's all I had under old business.
Get rid of that, did you?
Hmm?
Get rid of that ticket, did you?
What ticket?
Good job. What are you looking at me for?
Because I thought you wanted to say something under old business.
Oh, do I? Yes, I do want to say.
Yeah, see, you had that.
I was going through my notes. On the April 16th meeting, Mr. Charbonneau moved to approve the proposed events policy for 1 year, after which time the policy will be reviewed again. It has been quite a year. In order to meet that motion, I guess we have to look at the policy again with open eyes. And we've used it a numerous number of times, so we all know what the criteria is. Got it memorized by heart. So that should be a quick decision at one of our meetings, so I thought I'd just give you some little... Okay, now my next thing is the executive director's position of the downtown board. Now that they're gone, the monies that we gave from the Walmart and stuff was for that person's salary. Are those salaries being escrowed until we get another person coming in?
Yeah, they're safe.
Okay. Let's see. A very important one, I just want to bring it up because it's dear to the chief's heart and it's dear to my heart too. Is the ordinance 118 for the distribution of marijuana. And they're fast tracking the new legislation through the House and the Senate. And the way it's set up right now is that it's up to the citizens to vote on whether they want it or not. So, not necessarily doing something immediately. I think we should look at zoning and make sure that our zoning is set up so that if we're forced to have it, we know where it's going to be. I mean, the way it's set up now, It could be anywhere in the form-based code. And we have to think about, do we want that?
Because the law is written, the way they've written it now is that they overrule what we already did. That's the way I understood that bill, the way they've written it.
Right, the citizens can overrule what we want. So.
This, I mean, it would have to go to a vote. But, okay, yeah, right,
Has-
that's what I
has to go to a
thought.
vote.
Right.
Oh, Brownfield grant was supposed to begin in October. Have we had any update on the Brownfield grant?
No, there's a monthly meeting on Tuesdays by phone, and it's a coalition with St. Johnsbury and Newport. And most of the stuff that's ready for exploration is in St. Johnsbury and Hardwick.
Okay. Let's see.
That scoreboard's annoying.
Is that what it is?
That's a scoreboard downstairs.
And then, let's see, in August, there was a discussion about a EDA and will it require water meters for the grant for the new water tower? I don't think we've had an update on the water tower for a while.
We haven't had a lot of capacity to put towards that. We're starting to revisit that. We've got a lot of work to do, and one of the things that the council will have to do if they want us to pursue the EDA grant is mandate water meters in order for us to be eligible for that grant. And it may very well be time to do that. So we can put that out for a future discussion, revisit that.
Okay. And the Green Lantern solar presentation, city attorney to review documents. Has there been any follow-up on that?
So Sam Carlson is actually coming here tomorrow to review our electric records. And the way that the contract is written with what was Great Bay Hydro, which is now Gravity Solutions, is very limiting what you can do with other companies. So it's at a stumbling point. That's one of the reasons why Great Bay is coming tomorrow, because they're not sure we can engage further, and that matches what our city attorney's rendition is. So that contract that the city entered into, I think that was 2014 or 15, was before I got here. I don't know if it was reviewed by, but it doesn't seem to be the most advantageous.
And I've got one other which will probably be coming up. And I think Mr. Carbonell had mentioned this not too long ago. We were looking to see if there's an actual consumption rate for the water usage at the community garden. And I think you were going to touch base with Pedro, right? To see if there was a number for that.
I think it was so negligible, they didn't even count it.
It was,
It was nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, I don't even remember, but it wasn't much of anything.
Okay. That's it for now.
That's it. Very good.
Your timing on the events policy is excellent, and we were just talking about that before the meeting. And we have an event request coming up at the next meeting, and we would like to revisit that events policy because it is a working document, as you know, and we have lessons learned and refinements that we'd like to present to the board, and we'd like to have those made in time for July 1st. So you'll be getting another round of information about how that's working, good, bad, and indifferent. And you'll have that probably, I'm going to guess, maybe the first meeting in May-ish. So.
Okay. I guess the only thing I just thought of was I just want to say that I thought it was an excellent meeting Thursday night at the Career Center. It was very engaging. I think the committees seemed to be very excited in the restructuring, and people interested in the committee work. I know I was part of Robert's discussion, and people got really motivated and excited about some of Robert's ideas and different things. And so I just thought it was an excellent meeting, and very positive with all the grand announcements, the awards that we've received, and now, speaking of the grants, we've applied for downtown transportation. Has that been submitted?
Oh, yeah.
So that list that we received,
Oh,
so,
Yeah, Mike will update that. I'm sure you'll have an update in your next packet.
okay.
Yeah.
So no, I just want to say that was an excellent meeting.
It's very
well.
encouraging for the future of Newport.
There was a lot of new faces there.
Yeah.
So,
Moving forward.
moving forward.
It's very nice. It's very exciting. We have the award that since you brought it up, we have the award that our waterfront downtown master plan got right here, which is very exciting for the city. I mean, who thought? And to be able to carry out some of those initiatives is very, very exciting. So, making it happen.
And to be chosen as one of the Vorak communities was a big win.
And what?
To be chosen as one of the Vorak communities was huge.
Huge. Absolutely huge. So we're very happy about that too.
Okay. Anything else?
I just want to say that this award, because I went down for that, and it was interesting, I think, that we were one of the few awards that actually was implemented.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of the other awards seem to be awarded for their plans, but Newport is actually acting on the downtown waterfront plan.
It's very exciting when we could recognize previous studies and reports and recommendations and pull them into one source and start plucking at them in a way that's logical and cost effective. I'm so pleased about that. And I'm certain once we get started on this intersection, we'll have a groundbreaking and then perhaps a ribbon cutting. It's really nice to celebrate these successes.
Great.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else from any council members? Then the next regularly scheduled city council meeting will be Monday, April 1st at 6:30 p.m. here in the council room. I will need a motion to adjourn at 7:20. The motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Once we get started on this intersection, we'll have a ground ribbon cutting. It's really nice to celebrate these successes.
Great.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else from any council members? And the next regularly scheduled city council meeting will be Monday, April 1st at 6:30 p.m. here in the council room. I will need a motion to adjourn at 7:20. The motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. Then all
Breaking.
those in favor say aye.
And then perhaps a
Myself and opposed, ayes have it, motion carries.
certain, once we get started on this intersection, we'll have a ground